Kenneth G. Hasty, Raw, in 3, 2, 1.
Well, hello again. I'm Kenneth G. Hasty, business growth consultant, author of the popular book on selling, 77 Seconds to Sales Success. So, I wanted to tell you that right now, if you go on the site, 77secondstosalessuccess.com, and you want to get an autographed copy of the book, personalized for you or as a gift, it's the exact same price as if you just order the book. So we'll get them out within 24 hours. Something to think about. So that's at 77secondstosalessuccess.com. Meanwhile, if you've been watching these, or if you haven't, let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm doing a series of free videos to help business owners and salespeople grow their business. I'm giving back to the community because I have a lot of experience in such things, and I'm a consultant in such things. So basically, you can help me as well. You can give a little back by forwarding this, by sharing it, by retweeting it, by liking it, depends on whatever channel you're watching it on. And so let's get to it, all right? So today's segment is called Become a Trusted Resource. You know, when you're selling these days, people have a bad impression of salespeople. What do you think of right away when you think salesperson or traveling salesman or whatever? It's usually not the finest image, you know. It's kind of like Jeff Foxworthy talks about after a tornado and they get some Southern belle on there or something. He goes, and for some reason they don't find the finest among us to interview on TV, you know. So people have an impression of things, and they have an impression of salespeople. So I'm proud to be in sales. I've been in sales most all my life, and it's been a great career. But don't confuse that with being a shyster. You know, first off, you have to believe in what you sell, and you have to be honest, because sooner or later it'll come back to you if you try to say things that aren't true, etc. So what do I mean by become a resource or become a trusted resource? Well, here's what it is. When you start interacting with potential clients, a lot of times they already have a source. You know, they're like, hey, I like you, but I've been working with Joe for 10 years and we're happy. Fine, you know. So what do? Well, what you do is you find out the things about your potential customer, find out hobbies, find out, et cetera, et cetera. I'll give you an example. Years and years ago, before I lived in Columbus and, you know, have kind of become a fan of Ohio State, you know, back in the day, I lived in another state, and I went to the Fiesta Bowl down in Phoenix. So Ohio State was playing another team, and I don't think Ohio State won that year. But anyway, that's irrelevant to this conversation. And I wasn't able to go to the game. I was there for a company. We were doing a seminar for the alumni that happened to be customers. And so anyway, I was in kind of the B team room where we were having, you know, watching the game on the big TV, and they were having these, you know, like little gambling, I guess you'd call it, where they give you prizes if you pick the right score for the quarter. And I ended up hauling in a bunch of Ohio State memorabilia, even a football. And so to me, I thought, well, it's kind of going to waste, because for me, it's like, you know, what am I going to do with it? Stick it on a shelf? So I packed it all in a box, and I sent it to a major player in the industry I was in for his son. And his son was young, and I'd heard that his room was kind of Ohio State because I was paying attention. So I became a resource not to sell them, but to build a bond. Well, later, as time went by, even in different companies, I was able to go back to this same customer who happened to be a thought leader and did a lot of seminars in the industry. I was able to go back to this thought leader and seminar person, and I was a welcome guest pretty much in anything they were doing, and was able to generate a lot of revenue for me and for the companies I was with. So the way a lot of that happened was just not by me trying to sell something, but becoming a resource. Actually, the same person, when they were doing seminars, the company I worked for, I was with a big company, and they weren't getting any sales. You know, the salespeople would show up, they'd rotate salespeople through. So I went in early and I said, look, you know, what do you recommend from our company? What do you think people should use? What do you say they should use? I said, do you mind if I put a list together and say, these are the recommended items from our company by you? He was actually kind of flattered by that. I said, no problem. So I went down to Kinko's, and I made up a sheet, And it said, these are the recommended items by by this person for us. And made a killing. I got back from the company. How'd you sell so much there? Well, because I became a resource. One, for the speaker, so I wasn't doing anything to conflict with what he was saying, even though the company may have wanted me to promote other things. And two, for the doctors, this happened to be in the dental implant business, for the doctors that were attending, because they didn't know what to get. They were newer, and this made it really easy for them to buy. So I became a resource. I made it easy. Very good stuff. So another way you can become a resource is when you know something about somebody and you see something on the internet, or you see an article, you run across something in the paper, share it with them. If you know it's relevant to them, not just their business, but even personally. So you see something on the internet, you send a personal email, you say, hey, I was thinking of you, I saw this, just thought you might be interested. Not trying to sell anything, nothing, just as a resource. And it's amazing how that comes back to you, because they start thinking, I buy from XYZ and this guy's with ABC, but, he's becoming pretty helpful. Sooner or later they get uncomfortable, there's a problem, somebody chokes at XYZ, so they call and say, hey, let's come in and talk. I'm thinking about maybe doing something with, or maybe they let you in with just one thing. They go, they don't have this one product, can you get me that? Sure. And you start the process and you become a resource. And after a while, you become the go-to person. And once you become their go-to person, you got it all. And that's what I got to say about that. So if you like what we're saying in the videos, we being me, I guess, if you like what I'm saying in the videos, please like, share, retweet, etc. And if you want to set up a time to talk to me about growing your business, consulting, things like that, there'll be a link at the bottom of this when you look at it. Not the video itself, but on the page. Otherwise, you want to look me up, you can go to kennethghasty.com. If you want to send me a quick personal note, you can send it to kennethghasty@gmail. Feel free to comment on here, and any kind of comments are good. Be tactful, and we'll keep doing these. I'll keep doing these as long as they're relevant. So hopefully they're helping, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right? Happy selling. Take care. Bye.